Hello everyone, this is Angela here, and tonight I want to start a new video, and the title of this video is going to be an introduction into my romance with a covert narcissist. And I want to share my story so that people will become more sorry, so will become more aware of what covert narcissism looks like and how this particular type of narcissist will basically um, attract an empath right away. And if you're an empath like I am, it's highly likely that you will attract this type of narcissist. And this type of narcissist is what I call a victim narcissist. The type of person that you just want to rescue, and you think that you're going to love this person to the point where they're going to love you and you're going to have a relationship with them, a future with them, possibly a marriage with them. But in the end, it all kind of blew up in smoke and had a very bad outcome. So I'm going to talk about the beginning stages, which I call the introduction phase. And I'm going to call this person Donny, okay? Because I don't want to disclose any identities for the purpose of privacy. And this is my personal experience. I've also made mistakes in the relationship as well. I'm not a perfect person, and the lesson that I've learned from this relationship was to lower my expectations. After it was all over, I found myself very frustrated, very annoyed, very just unhappy, period. And so here's my story. First of all, to talk about me, I'm the type of person that is a people pleaser. And the reason why I'm a people pleaser, or was a people pleaser, was because I never got the love and affection from my own mother, who was highly narcissistic. She was an ignoring narcissistic mother. My needs were not met as a child, as well as my siblings. We all suffered because of my mother's narcissism. And, my siblings and I all had, you know, quite a bad experience growing up with a covert narcissist. My mother was a covert narcissist. She was um, basically a victim narcissist, where people would feel sorry for her, and she knew how to manipulate people to get them to feel sorry for her. And she used to exploit these people, mostly men. She was very histrionic, but this video is not about her. So now that you have the background check, it was like it this molded my own personality, okay, my own problems. um and so with that said, let's begin. I met this guy named Donny back in 2008 on an online website, and he was going through he had told me that he was divorced for 2 years, so I thought that that was long enough for him to be over the divorce. The divorce was very bitter, very difficult, according to what he told me. But I keep in mind today that I only heard his side of it. I haven't heard her side of it. So I'm only getting his perspective of the relationship. He told me that his ex-wife had bankrupted him, had alienated his child from him, He was forced to move back home with his mother. Everything was always doom and gloom with him. But at the time, I didn't see that. At the time, I just saw Donnie as this poor, pathetic guy who was just looking to be loved. I thought that if I could be the one person that could just love him and show him what a wonderful woman I was, that who I am, that he would fall in love with me, and that the relationship had potential to grow, and that loving and nurturing, you know, uh, would have a very positive outcome for both of us. He seemed to be financially stable. He had a good job, and he seemed to just be a good, decent guy, But as I got deeper into the relationship, I noticed today, but this was long after, I noticed that there was nothing positive about his life, okay? Everybody seemed to persecute him. If it wasn't his siblings, it was the people on his job. He was being harassed and, treated unfairly on his job. His ex-wife held the child against him, and just all these type of negative stories from his perspective, okay? And that's what reeled me in hook, line, and sinker, because I'm like, oh my God, that's just so terrible. And I wanted to, be that woman that could show him a different way of life. So I found myself meeting up with him. He lived quite a distance from where I lived, and he always wanted to meet with me. I could never go to his house because he was living with his parents. And, I just felt, he wasn't ready to just bring me home or whatever. And the relationship developed quite quickly. Unfortunately, I became very drawn into him, and regrettably so, I, had sex with him quite early on in the relationship, which was a big mistake, because normally when women have sex with a man, more so than the other way around, okay, the woman becomes emotionally bonded with the man, okay? I'm not saying that's the case with every guy. Men do emotionally bond, but it depends on the man. I would have to say, in my own personal experience, I think that women bond a lot sooner than men do when it comes to sexual relations. So that was my introduction to him back in 2008. We had dated for a few months, and then he ghosted me. And I didn't understand why he had ghosted me at that time. But I assumed that he had a lot of things going on in his life, with the custodial exchanges, and I just chalked it up to, it just didn't work out, and I just let it go. Come to find out, a few years later, after I got hoovered back in, that the reason why he had ghosted me was because the distance was very far, and he did not tell me that due to inclement weather, okay, and distance issues, that he wanted to end the relationship. No, he just ghosted me. And me being a person with weak boundaries at the time, didn't realize that that was a form of blatant disrespect. He could have at least had the courtesy of telling me, you know, with today's technology of telephones, emails, texts, you know, he could have done the decent thing and told me, but he didn't. So that was the introduction into my relationship with a covert narcissist. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about how I got hoovered back in. And the second time that I got hoovered back in, it was even worse than the first time, and it got a little bit more in depth. But I'm happy to say, okay, that it did not have a catastrophic result in the end, although it did end badly. It was not catastrophic financially or emotionally. I finally, so I know I'm putting the cart before the horse by telling you how it ended. But the reason why I can share this story is because I want to make aware by sharing this story how to recognize these type of individuals, and just recognize when your boundaries are being crossed, and to not accept that, and to just think that you could be dealing with a covert narcissist, and to just get away from them. So with that said, I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you at the next video, which I will call the Hoover. Take care. Bye-bye.